I love it because we have Schneider here. This is Schneider without the two belt. For those, that's the '80s reference. For those of you that
all of your references are '80s
yeah,
references.
Yeah, that. So anyway, I'm not going to explain this TV show one day at a time for anybody in here, but Schneider had a tool belt always on that show. So
Not related.
yeah, no.
It's Stephanie Bradford.
And we have Stephanie
Welcome,
Bradford.
and you're in town telling your
Yeah.
story, and we want you're a storyteller.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, actually I am.
I need to get you a mic. Sorry.
So
I'll lean in.
yeah,
That's okay. Hold on. We get you. No,
because we want
we are a 4 mic production here. We have enough mics.
I
Just
heard
make
that
sure
about
you-
this production.
Just make sure you speak into the mic.
and we want to hear from we. It's important that people hear stories like the ones that you have to tell, and
Okay.
that's why we wanted to have you on. So welcome.
Thank you, Congress folks.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Congressman Landsman. I'm Congressman Veasey from Texas,
hmm
and Congressman Schneider from Illinois.
We spoke earlier.
I have family in the Chicagoland area.
Okay, yeah.
And I recently drove across Texas several times, cross-country tripping with a partner who'd never done it. And on 3 hours in, he was like, how much more? I was like, oh, son.
It's a long.
Long way still to
Yeah.
go.
Did y'all get some good barbecue? That's the important
Fabulous
thing.
barbecue.
Good.
And also we were in Eastern Texas during wildflower season, which is
that's
fabulous.
nice. Very
And
nice.
I was born at Wright-Patterson Air Force
Oh,
Base
right around
in
here.
Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look
So
at that.
so
And
yeah.
so you're in
All of
DC.
us.
When did you get in?
I got in last night.
Okay, and your itinerary looks like.
My itinerary looks like just telling the story of who I am and what the Affordable Care Act tax credits mean for me now and what they will do to me if they are allowed to expire. So in order to understand this, I have to share a little bit of background, and I have notes. So again, Stephanie Bradford. I live in Lancaster County, PA. It's a small city. It's surrounded by a lot of rural and a lot of agriculture. I'm a writer, but I'm also a type 1 insulin dependent diabetic. Really,
And just to, when were you initially?
that's exactly where I'm
that's-
going. You read my mind. It's the
Yeah.
it's the Chicagoland
It's the connection.
mind meld.
I love that.
So I was diagnosed in 1976. I was 7 years old, and my father was stationed at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California at the time.
Hmm.
He was career Air Force. He was a B-52 bomber pilot in Vietnam. My mom was a teacher, and I spent 2 weeks in the military hospital at Fort Ord. And this is key to me. When I was diagnosed, type 1 diabetes was considered a chronic disease that would probably either kill you or debilitate you within 20 years. I fought hard my whole life to make sure that didn't happen. I think I'm doing pretty good. It's been 49 years, and I'm still here. It's important to understand about type 1 diabetes that it cannot be managed with lifestyle changes or pills. You guys
Nope.
probably know there's type 1, type 2,
Yeah.
right? And everybody's all like, oh, just go jog around the block. And I'm like, yeah, I do that. But
Yeah. My mom's husband is type 1.
so you know how this goes,
Yep.
right? You manage it every day. It requires insulin. It requires continuous monitoring of your blood sugars. And in our country, and again, I'm preaching to the choir here, to do those things, you've got to have health insurance. I literally cannot go out without health insurance. It's not an option for me.
Yeah.
So fast forward to April. I'm working for a small business in Lancaster. They don't have health insurance, so I go on the Affordable Care Act insurance through the penny system. That's what it's called in Pennsylvania. And at that time, my premium alone was $637.70, and that was with
Per month.
with the tax credits. The tax credits were $394. My position was eliminated. I redid the math through the penny system. The plan now costs me $508 a month, and that's with tax credits of $524 a month. But I also have monthly copays for insulin and the other things that I need of $308. So I did all this math.
It's about
Here.
1,300.
$816 a month, and that's to get out of bed every morning and walk around and stay alive. That's not going to the doctor. That's not dealing with the detached tendon that I had a year ago.
But
By
that's
the way,
with the subsidy.
that is with the subsidy.
Yes. So without the yes.
So
without
with the subsidy, I'm looking at $816.
Right.
The math, when you look at premiums, are expected to at least double in Pennsylvania, and so my walking around just to stay alive cost monthly is $1,324.
Yeah.
So that's a $1,500. No, it's an $1,800 bump what
no,
you're paying?
No. It's about a $500
Okay.
bump on the premium,
Gee.
but that's at the least. That's like if my premium only doubles.
Yeah. So what does that do to you and your family financially? Because
Well,
explain that to us.
Yeah, when I think about it, well, first of all, staying alive is
essential.
essential. I mean, it's like the thing you want to do, right? You get up in the morning, you want to stay alive that day. Most people, most days. Um, and when I'm looking at that kind of cost, I'm looking at always having to pay that no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at right now I'm freelance writing. So if a check doesn't come in from a gig, I'm looking at calling my car insurance company and being like, "Hey, dude, it's gonna be a little late this month," and you start accumulating late fees. It's one of the things that's most frustrating about living in an ebb and flow where there's a huge chunk of money devoted to
So,
this.
and Stephanie, you used the term gig.
Mhm.
You're basically self-employed.
Um,
At this point, are you working for a company?
no, I'm not working for a company. I'm not officially self-employed because I'm not. I haven't incorporated myself, but I am a writer. So while I job hunt, which is what I'm primarily doing,
You get income from
I'm
the,
getting income from side gigs.
All
So
right, so looking for a job, working to
pay bills.
find ways to pay the bills on a month-to-month, week-to-week basis,
Mhm.
and you're facing a jump in premiums. The reason I asked about when you said gig, nearly half the people on the Affordable Care Act who get their insurance through the Affordable Care Act either own a small business, work for a small business, or are self-employed.
Mhm.
It is that part of our economy where there are people working hard every day to pay their rent, put food on the table, clothes on their kids' backs.
I was with a small branding firm in downtown Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and they did not offer health insurance. And I was like, okay, I'll get on the penny system and keep my job. And
Yeah.
then the job was eliminated for other reasons. But it's those. My congressman likes to talk about small businesses a lot, and every time he does, I think, how do you think these people are paying for their health care? Because it's not like this furniture making company or this ice cream shop can afford to pay health insurance anymore. And they were relieved of that burden when the Affordable Care Act passed.
The ACA lifted that burden and allowed them to retain employees that otherwise they wouldn't be able to keep.
Right.
so let me ask you, because I have been thinking about for years now that everything comes down to sort of our bank accounts, right? For most Americans, and now that we have our bank accounts on our phone, like we're constantly looking at it,
Mhm.
and this really does become sort of a bank account issue for you, right? Because you don't have extra money in
I-
the bank account to pay for an ongoing additional expense of $500.
I don't. What I'm doing right now is tapping into my very hard earned and not terribly
Big.
wealthy, not terribly flush savings account.
And
And
once that goes,
well, hopefully I'm employed by a company that offers
Yeah.
health insurance.
right. But if you're not, then you're going to,
Well,
what happens to that $500? You can sort of for a short period of time figure it out. But over the course of time, you would either lose your health care or take on medical debt.
well, losing healthcare isn't an option. There are a lot of complicated ways to get access to what you need, paying cash without insurance. The level of care I have would probably drop. I might not be able to, for instance, stay on my continuous glucose monitoring system, which is a technology that monitors your blood glucose continuously. There are officially generic insulins, but they don't control your blood sugars as well. So I could do that.
You're
I
starting
could
to
move
roll
in
the
with
dice on your
family.
health.
Well, you're not just your health, but literally staying alive.
Yeah.
You're dice rolling, staying alive, and feeling healthy and good every day. So basically, before the Affordable Care Act, and if these subsidies go away, and if we do not address the system as a whole, you're looking at a whole bunch of people whose choices are go broke, die, or first go broke and then die.
Yeah.
But I want to put those choices into a context of the moment. So Stephanie, you were diagnosed, you said 1976.
Mhm.
In 1976 to today versus going the other direction, 1976 was closer to the discovery of insulin or the ability to manufacture insulin
Mhm.
to treat diabetes. And as you said, in 1976, a diagnosis of type 1 diabetes was a diagnosis of a shortened life with disability. It was a challenge. And because of the advances we made, you talk about glucose monitoring and other forms of insulin, people who are diagnosed, whether it's a child today or someone like you, have a full and productive life available to them. I have a young friend, 34-year-old woman who was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer.
Mhm.
And she's going through treatment. She's engaged. She's all the possibilities that are a life ahead of her.
Mhm.
Okay, because of the advances we've
Yeah.
made in medical science.
Mhm.
Kids diagnosed with genetic diseases. You can run down the list of diseases that a generation ago were not just debilitating, but oftentimes terminal. And today, a diagnosis is unpleasant, but the prognosis is promising
Yeah.
because of the advances we've made, unless you don't have access to health care.
That's right.
That's
Then
absolutely
it might
right.
as well be 50 years.
Parents will come up to me and they'll say, I'm so worried about my kid. And I'm like, it will be fine. I promise, because you know what their blood sugars are. You can even monitor them on your phone, long distance. Don't get them on too harsh if you think that they had an extra piece of Halloween candy or whatever. But for me, I can do things like walk into a barbecue restaurant. I don't need to know exactly how much sugar is in the barbecue sauce, because no true barbecue.
Those are
master-
secrets.
They're
Those
not
are
going to tell me
secrets
that.
that are
They are
kept.
not. They
They're
will
not,
not.
they're not.
But if I
It's a
eat
lot
that
of sugar.
barbecue and then my blood sugar starts going up, I give a little more insulin. I'm like, oop, now I know, And that technology did not exist when I
No.
was a kid.
And-
They didn't even have basic blood testing until I was about 13, 14
And
years
so
old.
what the ACA provided was access to health care for millions of Americans.
Access, and also before the ACA, since we're going to go down that road, I did not know that the insurance cost for an entire company would go up if they hired me.
Yeah.
And
Because of your
Pre-existing
because I had a
condition.
pre-existing condition, and I've been let go more than once. As soon as the 1 year mark hits and
Oh,
they get the bump in that
no.
insurance. Yep,
Wow.
that has happened. That
Oh,
has
so
happened.
they
They're like,
do the
oh,
1 year and then they boot you.
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Oh,
so
it's-
sorry.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
small companies trying to
I
Well, the-
know, but
survive.
Not even necessarily small
Yeah.
companies, a small nonprofit.
And the ACA
The
made that
ACA
no
the
longer
ACA
a
fixed that.
concern. We
if
fixed
it's
that problem.
affordable, right?
Right, if
So,
it's
so
affordable.
just
It's
real
a
quick,
work in progress.
you're here with this incredibly compelling story. You've got Democrats
Mhm.
are in town, but are there any Republicans? Have you found any Republicans to talk to? Where's your member?
Uh,
I actually don't know. This is
okay, so my congressman is Congressman Lloyd Smucker.
okay.
He is from Lancaster. He has a business background.
Republican.
Yes, he is.
Is he here or is he back in the district?
I believe he's back in the district. He is not a terribly responsive member. His staff is great. They know me. I know them. I call them all the time. I
Yeah.
got them on speed dial. So his staff is great. The messaging seems to get to him. What the messages we leave seem to get to him. But the messaging that comes back seems to be talking points, not necessarily written by him.
Yeah, because he wants to be a team player more than look out for his constituents. And that's the problem.
There's,
Yeah.
you said it, not me, but I live in a deeply purple area.
Mhm.
My two senators are Senator Fetterman and Senator McCormick. I did call Senator McCormick's office to see if he had time. I have not had a return phone call. Again, not to blame his staff, they probably get about 1,000 messages a day.
yeah.
But it was interesting because Senator McCormick made a comment about the Affordable Care Act,
Mhm.
and he said it was supposed to do three things, and one of the things was provide access. And he said it failed in all three, and that's when I was like, okay, take a deep breath and call the man, because it did allow access.
Yeah.
It's an investment. I mean, it's absolutely an investment in the people of this country.
Well, there's there's four buckets of healthcare, right? There's if you retire, there's Medicare.
Mhm.
If you're low income and you're disabled, there's Medicaid, and that's grown because you have more and more companies who aren't providing health insurance. Then you have the folks in the third bucket, which used to be the big bucket, which was private company.
Mhm.
You got your healthcare through your job, but more and more companies are saying we can't afford it, so they're not providing that, and more people are working on their own. They're farmers, they're small businesses, they're entrepreneurs. And so that fourth bucket of people who aren't eligible for Medicaid, aren't eligible for Medicare, and their employer does not give them health care, they need to go to the marketplace and buy insurance. No one pays insurance on their own. If you work for a company, in the United States Congress, we all pay a part of our insurance.
That's right.
So the ACA works the same way, which is you pay some, and the ACA pays some, and the ACA pays some through the subsidies. Without those subsidies, you're now paying the full cost, and most people can't afford that. And that this growing number, it's like 22, 24 million Americans in this fourth bucket.
Right.
It's going to be 30, 35 million as more and more companies decide they can't afford healthcare.
And again, these people working for small businesses or on their own, doing gig work, whatever the case may be, because they have insurance, they have a physician, because they have a physician, they're getting the care they need. That's keeping them out of the emergency room. It means they can stay employed. It means they can stay healthy. When you take that away, it's a double whammy because they're going to the emergency room and they don't have the ability to pay. Either the hospital is doing that as charity care or it's getting picked up some other ways. ACA, in addition to taking away the pre-existing condition parameters, it made it possible for people to stay on insurance to age 26. It made it possible for people to carry their insurance from one employer to the other. Not perfect. Nothing is, but it was that step forward. And what I've been saying since the ACA passed, we should be looking at what's working and doing more of it. We should be looking at what's not working and try to fix it. And if it can't be fixed, you try another way to get to a place in the richest country in the world. The principle is pretty simple. Everyone in this country should have access to quality, affordable care from providers they trust, where they are, when they need it.
Which is why the subsidy works so well, because it doesn't say we're going to pay for your health care. It says, if you're able, looks like you're able to pay $400 and the premium is $9. So we'll pay the 500. I mean, we'll split. And that's how employer-based healthcare works. I mean, for the most part, we pay, half and our employers pay half. So it's not any different. And the question is, for government officials, do you invest in people's health care or something else?
Greg, you're leaving off a piece.
Oh, sorry.
The employee pays half, the employer pays half, and the employer deducts their half and gets tax break for
Yeah,
it.
it's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much
Yeah.
for
Sure.
doing this.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to add
Yeah, but
before
say,
you? before we
leave
get
us
outta
with
here?
something. Yeah.
Leave you with something.
Yeah.
Just what I said in a previous conversation, which is we do have this astonishing, amazing country. It's wealthy. It is stunning. I mean, so many different parts. It's just amazing what we have in this country, and we have incredible people. And I just do not understand why Congress will not just extend these tax credits for me and millions of people like me.
Yeah.
It's an investment, but I believe the American people are worth the investment.
We agree with you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
100%. Thank you.
And
for
Stephanie,
joining
I
us.
really hope that as you're working your way through this, that you are able to lean into your writing and just find some relief and be able to just, as you work your way through this. 'Cause I know
I'm
that's
doing
really
a lot
important.
of yoga these days.
That's good.
Lots of
We all have to
yoga.
have an
You and me
experience.
both.
I can teach you some
Yeah.
nidra breathing, balance and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
Get
love
to do
that.
So
I love
I-
that yoga.
Oh, you need
guess
to
I-
do yoga.
It's,
I know,
it's
and I
amazing.
boxed before
I
I
just,
did yoga.
I was,
so,
I box. I don't have
Do
the,
you really?
I do. I boxed this morning. I did bag work.
Mhm.
I just don't have the attention span for yoga. I've tried a couple times.
He's
The
not
last
joking.
time I tried, they left the window open and I heard a lawnmower.
Mhm.
And then I was like, hey, there's a lawnmower. Can you shut the window? And they were like, shh. And then I just was
Yeah.
like, I'm out of
I'll,
here.
I'll hook you up with this online thing that you'll love.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
it in the
Amazing.
privacy of my own home.
Yep.
As we're wrapping up, I just want to thank the two of you for doing such an extraordinary job.
Yeah,
with,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Flying.
Thank
We
you.
had a whole group of new Dems speaking today live.
Yeah, great.
Uh,
Everyone was
It's a
great.
reflection of who the new Dems are. Stephanie, you may not know, there's 116 members of the Democratic caucus are members of the New Democrat Coalition.
That's fabulous.
We are a majority of the caucus, and we are the ones who are fighting for health care. We are here now. We're saying to our Republican colleagues, join us in Washington. Let's sit down. Let's try to work together.
Mhm.
So far, they've decided they would rather stay on vacation, stay at home, stay in hiding. But we will be here day in and day out working to protect your health care, protect Americans' health care, to work to make sure SNAP gets funded, and that the American people can count on a government working on their behalf. So thank you.